for the first time, anyone can get access to what's happening at the bottom of the ocean.
So we're ushering in a new way to study the world's oceans.
The Venus Project is the world's most advanced cabled seafloor observatory. The project, which is led by the University of Victoria, will be installed next month in Saanich Inlet.
Well, basically, once we have this installed, the user will be able to go through the internet and access some software which will allow them to pan and tilt a camera, to take photographs, change the lighting environment, engage or disengage a flash.
We can look at our forests and we can see what's happening and we can begin to make decisions. But until you really see and feel and hear what the underwater is really like, can we really begin to really feel what you're doing to it?
Project Venus is a kind of test bed for us, so some of the initial engineering work that's going on, the development of instruments, the development of the database is ramping up to what we will need in Neptune, Canada.
Today's launch demonstrates Canada as a global leader in ocean research. No other nation has an ocean research project as advanced as Neptune.
We're taking power and the internet to the ocean in ways that have never been possible. And all of this is happening at a time when arguably the oceans have never been more important, and the understanding of the oceans never more important to the health of our planet and the health of our society.
Oceanography in the past was first done from small vessels close to shore by throwing a piece of string over the side with some wax on it to measure the water depth and sample the bottom. And those piecemeal pieces of data over many decades finally put together the beginnings of the puzzle of the oceans. The motivation for Ocean Networks Canada came from a team of scientists, and they had this vision of being able to understand what I call now actually the sea beneath the surface. Most of the oceans we observe through satellites, and so we just see the very skim of the top of the ocean, which represents 70% of the planet. But in fact, 90% of the life form sits in that volume beneath the surface. So the sea beneath the surface is not understood very well. And so these scientists said, why don't we take new technology, wire the ocean floor so that we can put sensors there, monitor that huge volume of our planet. And I call it the Internet Connected Ocean. It's one of 4 major science initiatives in Canada, the only one in the ocean, the only one in British Columbia, and it's actually currently world leading in terms of the breadth and scope of the observations that these observatories enable. Here we are at the headquarters of Ocean Networks Canada, and we've come a long way in 10 years. I mean, it started with some real innovators in science, Verena Tunnicliffe and Chris Barnes, who were champions and made the case that we needed to put sensors on the seafloor and have persistent monitoring. And they did that, and they were the first in the world. And now we've grown over these 10 years, and we have not only sensors on Venus, which was the first in the water 10 years ago, and Neptune, the largest cabled ocean observatory in the world, but now we're taking those same technologies and we're putting them in other locations around Canada's coast. So it's very exciting times now. We're going to take these technologies, we're going to put them in as many places as we can in Canada, along the Arctic Ocean, on the East Coast, so that we will truly be a fully observed ocean country.